Okay. Hello, everyone. We are doing some crypto-flavored yoga for the members of our crypto garden community. So that's something you don't get to say every day or do every day. But I'm joined by my longtime friend and yoga guru, Libby Lyons, who has run her own yoga studio. She's now teaching in a number of studios around town as well as online. And so she's going to come and, show us the ropes here. So I'm going to hand off this little microphone to Libby. We're just going to go through, I think, a 45-minute vinyasa flow. And then we might hang out at the end and just kind of chat. So pause the video if you don't currently have good clothes on or your yoga mat. Get ready, because I think this will be worth it. And here we go.
All right, so even if you've never done yoga before, you're absolutely welcome to just jump in, and you're allowed to just try things. So about 45 minutes, and we'll start in child's pose. So the knees will be wide on your mat, maybe touching the edges, maybe not quite, and toe mounds together. You can stretch your arms forward. Space in between your eyebrows on the mat instead of your hairline. Just let yourself settle in. Notice your breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just allowing yourself to be still and steady the breath, smooth it out. And then from where your breath is right now, see if you can deepen it just a bit. Maybe double the length or the capacity of it. Take one more like this. And you can begin to stretch your arms forward a bit. Come up onto the fingertips, lift the elbow off the mat, both elbows off the mat, and then settle the chest back down, head back down. Press back into the shoulders. See if you can just kind of notice what it feels like to engage the arms, maybe start to awaken the back body, the space between the shoulder blades and even just below. Now take a generous breath in here. As you exhale, walk your fingertips over to the right side until your right ribs touch your right inner thigh. It's a side body stretch. You'll likely be reaching off of your yoga mat here. I'm going to draw your left shoulder down towards your mat. And so you're feeling a combination of ribs expanding on the left side, which should help us breathe deeper. And maybe a stretch in the muscles in your underarm, so latissimus, rotator cuff. So if you already practice yoga, these might be tight, especially if you have a regular vinyasa practice. And then take one more deep breath here. Don't rush your breath. Base of your exhale. You can slowly walk your fingertips back over to center and just gently switch your sides. So you'll reach off your mat on the left side. Until your left ribs touch your left inner thigh. Right side body stretch. So maybe noticing the space in between each rib, the intercostal muscles stretch, allowing for a deeper breath. And then noticing the stretch in the underarm, you can create a little bit more of that sensation if you draw the right shoulder down towards your mat. Stay for one more deep breath here. And you can come back through center. So now straight line, hopefully with a little more space on both sides of your ribs. Take a full deep breath here. As you're ready, you can find your way up to a tabletop. So you'll want to make the adjustment to draw the hands just underneath your shoulders and tuck your knees in right underneath your hips. And you can cat and cow. So with an inhale, pull your heart through or your shoulders back, send your gaze upward. As you exhale, you can round your spine, tuck your chin. And just a couple like this at your own pace. The in-breath bringing the chest through, the gaze up. The out-breath, round and curl. Maybe 2 more. So no rush to get to the base of the breath, but as you finish that one, come back to a neutral spine. So you're no longer cat or cow, but just the spot right in between. You can move your hands slightly forward of your shoulders, spread your fingertips wide, and then turn your toes and lift your hips for down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So you can pedal the feet, bend the knees, press to the balls of the feet. So think of this as kind of an exploratory movement, just noticing what's tight, what needs attention, how does it feel good to move, as if you're just kind of getting a read on your body for this particular day. And eventually you'll settle into stillness. This is our resting posture. It's definitely an active pose, but the goal is just to be still. Notice your breath. If you find, as we're moving, that this does not feel restful, tabletop or child's pose are also options. Those are the 2 poses you've already done today. And take a deep breath in. Slowly let go of all of your air. And you can kind of tiptoe the feet up to the base of the wrists. So bring the feet hip width or maybe even slightly wider and bend the knees a fair amount. Let your head, neck, and shoulders relax. You could grab for opposite elbows, maybe interlace the hands at the nape of the neck, or even just let the hands rest on the floor. The pose is called ragdoll, so literally being that relaxed in your upper body. Full gravity through the vertebrae, neck and shoulders. Full weight of the skull hangs heavy. Perhaps even the features of your face soften. Big inhale here. Exhale, let your hands fall down to your mat if they're not already there. You're going to tuck your chin and kind of make your tailbone feel heavy. We'll just roll to standing really slowly. I like to think of this as a fresh start. So you kind of have a slouchy posture. And as you stand up, you'll roll your shoulders back, turn your palms forward, bring your head back in space just a touch. You feel like you're standing tall. And so anything that came before this is absolutely now in the past. Fresh start. We'll do a half sun A here first. On your inhale, reach up towards the ceiling or the sky, breath in. As you exhale, fold forward. Goal is to have a straight spine, so feel free to soften your knees on the way down if your hamstrings are tight. Breathe in, lift halfway, hands on your shins or your mat, crown points forward. Fold again towards your legs as you breathe out. Ground your legs, reach all the way to the ceiling. Inhale or sky, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, fold forward, slow, controlled all the way down, matching the length of the exhale. Breathe in, lift halfway. Breath out, fold. Ground your legs, reach all the way up. Inhale, we'll add on to this one. As you exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, lift halfway. So right here, place your palms on your mat and step back to a high plank. Feels like a high push-up position. Your feet are hip-width distance, your hands under your shoulders. We want to make sure the core is engaged, so I like to think about this a couple of ways. You could pretend you're going to pull the heel of your hand towards your toes, and your toes to the heel of the hand without lifting your hips. You'll start to feel maybe a hum of strength at your midline. You can also think about pulling your front ribs in, and maybe, and this is very subtle, just maybe 5% your tailbone towards your heels. And take a tiny shift forward as you breathe in. So you're on the very edge of your toes, or you can come to your knees. As you exhale, slowly go all the way down to your mat. Try to get your belly and your thighs to touch at the same moment. Point all 10 toes to the back edge of your mat. And this is baby cobra. So with your inhale, peel your chin, chest, and ribs up off the floor. You want your low back to be the primary lifter. So you can test this by floating your hands, maybe briefly. And then you could add them back 10%. Eyes are just out ahead of your mat, so your neck is pretty relaxed. Let's breathe in, lift a little bit higher. And then exhale, slowly drift back down. So a couple options. You could come up on your knees, just pressing your arm to straight, or you can turn your toes, making this a bit more of a strength move, and push back up to that plank position. Reverse chaturanga. And then down dog. So hips go back, inverted V. Deep breath here. Remember, this is meant to be our resting posture. If you find that your hamstrings are quite tight in this position, first of all, you're completely normal. And you can soften your knees, maybe lift your heels a bit. That will take some pressure off the backs of your legs. Let's take a deep breath in. Slowly breathe out. Wait for the exhale. There's no rush. And step your feet up to meet your hands. Breathe in, lift halfway. Find length, crown forward. Fold as you exhale, relaxing the body towards the legs. Ground the legs, reach all the way up. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. And repeating this exhale, fold forward, slow, controlled, back down. Halfway lift, breathe in. Place your palms. Take your step back to a high plank. Let's pause just long enough to notice that we're engaged through our midline. So you shouldn't feel any pain or tension in your low back. If you do, pull into your midline more. Maybe lift the hip bones to the ribs to the hip bones. Tiny shift forward, breath in. Slowly to your mat on your breath out. Remember, you have the option for knees as you're building strength. And then connect the tops of your feet, 3 deep breaths, peel chin, chest, and ribs, Bhujangasana. Perhaps this time coming up a little bit higher, maybe you can feel your middle back engage. Perhaps you use 20% arms. One more. And slowly drift back down. Same options, so you can come through tabletop on your knees or reverse your chaturanga, breath in. And then all together, down dog, breath out. Allow yourself to be still and breathe. Pause and maybe just notice what your mind is doing. You don't have to worry about anything that came before this or anything that will come right after this. So practicing being in the present moment, which means just this pose right now and this breath that you're on right now. Your next inhale, lift your right toes, 3-legged dog. I'm gonna step the right foot to the right thumb. If you don't quite make it to the thumb, wiggle your way up there. You're gonna draw your back knee down to the mat very gently and draw the arms up over your head. It's a supported crescent lunge. So you can lean into your left leg till you feel some stretch come through the front side of your left thigh, quadriceps and hip flexor. Crease of your right hip will pull back slightly. You want some strength in the legs, so not full surrender, not too rigid, something right in between. Let's take a deep breath in. As you exhale, draw your hands down to the mat. Slide back. Let's make our front legs straight, so the hips go kind of towards your left heel. You'll hover above it. Half Hanuman, half splits. I like my toes flexed back. You could definitely point them. And if the hamstrings are very tight, bring a bend into your right leg. If you'd like a little deeper stretch, take a breath in to lengthen your ribs. As you breathe out, maybe bend your elbows. Stay for one more breath. And gently find your way forward to our lunge. Place your palms flat and send the right toes straight back to your high plank. So this time, option for chaturanga. This can also be done on your knees if you'd like. Tiny shift forward and just go halfway down. Elbows just find the ribs. Then inhale, up dog. Thighs up off the floor, toes point straight back, head straight forward. And then flip the feet, find down dog. And we'll make your two sides match. So your left toes rise now, breathe in. On your exhale, you'll step to your left thumb, land as light as you can, wiggle the toes up there till the knee and the ankle are stacked. Back knee down, arms over your head, supported crescent lunge. Left hip crease back, right one forward, so you just feel a little squeeze to the center line. To me, this makes it feel safe to stretch these muscles in a pretty deep way. Combination of soft and strong. Big inhale. Hands will drift down to your mat on your exhale, and then slide back, front leg becomes straight. Maybe the toes flex back. Maybe you've got them kind of pointed. Just have it match what you did on your first side. If you're looking for that same kind of depth, take the breath in, lengthen your ribs. As you breathe out, maybe bend your elbows. You have one more. And find your way forward gently into the front leg at the base of the exhale. And then step back to a high plank. And chaturanga halfway down. So the elbows don't dig in, they just brush the sides of your body. Inhale, up dog, thighs off the floor, straight arms, chest through. And down dog on your exhale. Pause and breathe in through your nose. And out through your nose. A moment of stillness is also a nice opportunity for you to just absorb the last couple movements, let your body acclimate. So next movement is an option. We can step or hop forward, just whatever feels like what you want to do. Make sure your hands feel nice and strong. Take a deep breath in, come up to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, gaze forward, step or hop. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breath out. And this time let's bend the knees. Utkatasana, chair pose. The arms will frame the ears. You'll settle back to your heels a bit, but your toes are still connected. And pick up your hip bones towards your ribs, and the ribs pull in, so you still have a little bit of core strength, meaning that you don't have a huge amount of curvature in your low back. Notice your breath. Perhaps sit a little bit lower. Find an inhale. With your exhale, straighten your legs, slowly fold forward all the way down to your mat. Take a breath in, lift halfway. Place your palms. You can step or hop back to a chaturanga. Up dog on your inhale, and down dog on your exhale. Right toes will stretch back, big inhale. You'll step through as you did before to your right thumb. Light landing, hip width distance. This time keep your back knee lifted and rise to crescent lunge. So with your feet at hip width distance, you should feel relatively balanced. Though of course there's a challenge to be on your back toes or ball of your foot. Crease of your right hip gently pulls back in space. Left one forward. So if at any point you feel really wobbly here, remember you could always bring your back knee down. We're gonna take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you'll find a twist. Palms go to the right and just open to a T. And imagine the right shoulder drifting towards the back of your mat and the left shoulder towards the front. Breathe in and get as tall as you possibly can. Breathe out and gently twist a little bit deeper. So essentially you're creating space when you inhale, moving into the space as you exhale. One more on your own. Then inhale, reach up to center, frame the ears. As you exhale, let's spin the back heel down and go warrior two. Your front foot will need to move over to the left just a touch. So when you look down, your front heel aligns with your back arch. Arms are to a T. And to settle low into your front right leg. 5 toes of your front foot point directly forward, and your right knee aligns with those middle toes. And to turn the front palm. Try not to change your front leg as you inhale, reverse. Right ribs feel long and your back hand is light. And as you exhale, go extended side angle. So right elbow comes to the inside of your right leg. Utthita Parsvakonasana. Right arm can gently push against your right leg. Right leg presses back so the right knee continues to track with your middle toes. This feels like a twist as well, even though it's an open twist. So the top left shoulder, left ribs, left hip all roll back and open. And you might invite your gaze up past your left fingertips. Your side body abdominals hold you in this shape, this diagonal position in the spine. And so kind of feeling that front to back twist to hold you here. You have one more deep breath. Your next inhale, reverse your warrior again. Right ribs long, keep the front leg low, you're almost there. And exhale, go all the way down. Place your palms, step back to a high plank. Chaturanga on your breath out, halfway down. Up dog on your inhale, strong legs, thighs off your mat. Down dog on your exhale. And let's do your other side. Left toes will rise, big inhale. Light landing at your left thumb. Make sure your feet are hip width distance. Come up, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Just pause, settle into your legs, get low. You're balancing on the ball of your right foot. Your heel doesn't have to reach all the way up to the sky or the ceiling or to the mat. It's somewhere just right in between. You have an option to bring the back knee down if you'd like. If you did on the first side, make sure you do it on this side. Breathe in. As you exhale, split your palms to the left. Open twist. So again, as you inhale, trying to create some length, get a little bit taller. As you exhale, gently twisting, maybe a little bit deeper. Left shoulder drifts back. Right one drifts forward. One more breath. Inhale, draw your way up to center. So frame the ears. As you exhale, spin your back heel down. Warrior two. So your front foot moves over just a touch, so your front heel draws a line to the arch of your back foot. Your toes of your front foot, all 5, point directly forward. Your left knee stays tracking with the middle toes. This is just making sure your knee stays happy in all these postures, so no lateral movement, not favoring big toe or pinky toe. Turn the left palm. Breathe in, reverse. Bottom half of your body stays the same. You're just stretching your left ribs, backhand is light. As you exhale, extended side angle. Left elbow to the inside of your left leg. Right arm up. A little bit of an open twist. So right shoulder rolls back, left one through. You could feel right ribs, right hip even roll back. And to stay low in your front left leg. And just trusting the strength of the side body abdominals to twist your body, but also hold you in this shape. Part of the challenge is just staying there, maybe for even one more breath, longer than you thought you could. One more. And then just repeating as you inhale, reverse, reach back, keep the front leg low, one more moment. And then all the way down. Step back to find a high plank. Chaturanga, breath out. Up dog, breath in. Down dog, breath out. Settle and breathe, resting pose. Most present moment is just this right here, with the aftertaste of the postures you just did. Maybe the way you can feel your heart rate slow as you breathe. If you are practicing the hop forward, you'll need strong fingers, so feel each finger pad and knuckle strong in your mat. Take a deep breath in, come up to the balls of your feet, bend your knees, gaze forward, step or hop. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breath out. Let's bend the knees, chair pose, sit down low. As you exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Place your palms, you can step or hop back. Chaturanga, breath out. Up dog is an inhale. Down dog is an exhale. We'll move on the half breath here, but do not rush. Right toes rise, inhale. Step through to find your right thumb on your exhale. Crescent on the breath in, reach up. Split your palms to the right to twist as you breathe out. Inhale, frame your ears, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two, spin the back heel down, arms to a T. Inhale, reverse, backhand light, right rib stretch. Exhale, extended side angle. And then reverse again, breath in, reach back. Breath out all the way down. Step back to chaturanga, or if you'd like a break from chaturanga, you could hold plank. And then pull back to a down dog. That's always an option. Left toes rise, inhale. Step to find your left thumb on your exhale. Crescent, breath in. Palms to the left, breath out, open twist. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling or the sky. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Bottom half stays the same. Inhale, reverse, left ribs long. Exhale, extended side. And again, breath in, reach back. Breath out all the way down. You can hold plank and breathe, or chaturanga, breath out. Up dog, breath in. Down dog, breath out. Pause and breathe. Resting pose. Remember, tabletop or child's pose are options as well. It's okay to be challenged, so maybe even just noticing that. I think it feels good to be challenged. If you took tabletop or child's pose, just pop back up to your down dog so you're ready to move. Make your hands nice and strong. Take a deep breath in, come up to the balls of the feet. Bend your knees, gaze forward. You can step or hop. Halfway lift, breathe in. And fold, breath out. Bend your knees, chair pose on your inhale. And this time, let's add on. So you'll bring your right elbow underneath your left. This is Garudasana. So right elbow under left, wrists reach for each other, and then palms. If palms don't work today, backs of the hands work too, or even reaching for shoulders. And then right leg will go up and over. And keep a bend in your left leg as if you're still in chair pose. The right toes are gonna eventually tuck behind the left calf. But as you're working towards that, just set the goal. The intention, the toes reach that direction. Sit your hips a little lower and find some weight in your left heel. And then for me, I prefer to draw the elbows up to the height of the shoulders. Head back slightly. You're gonna gently pull your shoulders down, chest forward. Start to notice some good stretch in the cap of the shoulder, maybe in the muscles connecting to your neck. Notice your breath. Let's get one more. Sit a little lower. Okay, quick reminder, we're practicing, so we're allowed to mess up. I do mean to challenge you though. So keep the arms. Press into your left leg, bring your right knee to your chest. Practice your balance here, pause. And then warrior three, so the right toes are gonna go back. You can unwind the arms and frame your body. So all three limbs reach back. Trying to create a capital letter T shape here. Crease of the left hip back, right one towards the mat slightly. Pull your front ribs in. Take Take a deep breath in. And as slowly and carefully as we can, set the right toes at the back edge of the mat. And then rise to crescent lunge. It's okay if you didn't land perfectly. We'll fix it in just a second. Take an exhale, spin the back heel down, warrior two. So now move the front foot over so the front heel aligns with the back arch. Make sure your front knee and your ankle are stacked. You took a wide enough step. Breath in, reach out to the corners here. As you exhale, we'll take a squat down the center. So your toes point out, your hands come through your heart space. The weight is back to your heels. You have some natural curve in your low back, so your head comes back just a touch. Take a breath in. Sit lower as you breathe out. Breath in. Sit lower as you breathe out. Just one more. And then you'll go back out to a 5-pointed star. Basically, you get to just stretch your limbs out. And then turn both your feet so they're running parallel, all 10 toes the same direction. You'll fold all the way down. This is Pasarita Padottanasana, or wide leg forward fold. You can reach for your feet, your big toes, your calves, your ankles, even the mat in front of you. And try to draw the body towards the legs. This stretch will be the most effective if you are centrally located on your feet. So it's very common to place the weight in the heels. You're just going to practice, play with, bringing a little weight towards the balls of the feet. Maybe back to the heel. You can go back and forth until you find the spot right in between. When you breathe in, see if you can make your spine longer through the crown of your head to the floor. When you breathe out, keep the length. See if you can pull the body towards your legs. One more here. And draw the hands underneath your nose. Take a breath in, lift yourself halfway. Turn to the left to the top of your mat. Place your palms. This is three-legged dog. Left toes will go up and back, so just that big extension of your leg. And you'll come back through, but this time step to the outside of your left hand by your pinky finger. Big wide step, knee and ankle stacked. And then you can go straight arms or elbows. Back knee can stay active, lift it off the mat, or you can bring it down. This is runner's lunge. So a lot of the other poses are quite active. We mean to be engaged the whole time. This one you can find a little bit of softening or surrender where you're a little more heavy in the hips to find the effect we're looking for. Remember, if at any point you want a little less sensation, you could always straighten your arms. Want to kind of walk this line of feeling challenged, never pushing past pain, but always being super kind to your body. So especially if this pose is a good challenge for you, check in with your breath here. See if you can smooth or lengthen it. Take one more here. I'm gonna slowly straighten your arms. The right arm is gonna stay where it is, back knee down if it's not there already. Left arm will go around in a big half circle to create a twist. You have two options. One is just to reach back like this. This feels awesome by itself. Or you could bend your back leg and pick up your foot from the outside. If you do capture the foot, you'll give it a little kick back as you pull in. So if you can lean forward enough that you're more on your quad or the quad right above the knee versus being on your kneecap. Left shoulder back, right shoulder forward. Maybe gaze back behind you. Stay for one more breath. Don't rush it, feel the exhale. Really gently release your back leg. Left arm will come all the way around. Place the palms, lift your right leg. And then your left toes up and back, three-legged dog, big breath in. You could bend this knee, open the hip. Extend the leg and then return it. For me, sometimes a pedal of the feet after a deep pose like that feels really good, so back and forth. And for a moment, just notice the difference between your right and your left leg. This is your most present moment. And strong hands. Let's take a deep breath in, come up to the balls of the feet, bend the knees, gaze forward. Again, this can be a step or a hop. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breath out. Bend the knees, chair pose. We've got to do our left side now. So it'll be your left elbow under and your right elbow on top. Wrists reach for each other, then palms, or backs of hands or shoulders. Breath in. And left leg up and over on your breath out. So again, the goal is for the toes to tuck at the base of the calf, but maybe they just reach that direction today with the goal, the intention to go that way. Left hip crease back and then sit a little lower. And direct a little weight to your heel. You might lift your elbows to your shoulders and then chest forward and shoulders down. Imagine stretching the length from ear all the way down to your shoulders. Big inhale. Stay for the exhale. Okay, just commit to the challenge. Try to have a good time with it. Push down through your right. Bring your left knee to your chest. Just pause, find your balance. And then all three limbs back. Warrior three. So you can undo the arms. Trying to create a capital letter T with your body. Right leg super strong. Push against the mat. Pull your front ribs in. Crown of the head points forward so your eyes are just pointing straight down towards your mat. Breathe in. Crescent lunges next. So bend the right leg. Left toes will find the back edge of your mat. And then reach up, big inhale. All right, exhale, warrior two, spin the back heel down. And here we can adjust the feet so front heel aligns with back arch. You took a wide enough step where your knee and your ankle are stacked. And go 5 pointed star on your inhale here, reach to the corners. Yeah. Okay, this time, bring your hands just to a T and your left foot to run parallel. So the left toes point directly out. Right toes turn to the top of your mat, and we'll do Trikonasana triangle. So you're gonna reach out and then rotate. Front right leg stays straight. You can place your right hand on your shin bone in a tented shape. You could float it. Maybe you have the range to reach all the way to the floor. Front right leg straight, you'll press through your whole foot. So big toe mound, both sides of your heel, and you can feel muscle strength around your knee. This one is a twist similar, like open twist, where the left shoulder rolls back, right one forward. You have one more breath. Reach back up to the center, big inhale. Go 5 pointed so the toes point out. Now bring your right foot in and turn your left toes to the back of your mat. Arms to a T. Reach to the left, toes are way, way, way back. Then left hand reaches down to your shin bone. Maybe the floor, maybe to hover. Try not to put too much weight in your left hand so you remain strong at the midline. So if you were to float your left hand, you would keep the shape. Left foot strong, press against the mat. Not just your heel, but the toe mounds as well. Ball of your foot. Rotate your right shoulder back, your right rib back. One more breath. Stretch out again to the corners, bring your body upright. And turn both your feet and go all the way down on your breath out. So again, wide leg, forward fold. So you can take the grip on the feet, or this time if you'd like, you could interlace your hands and let your arms fall over your head. Just a nice stretch through the chest and shoulders. Again, practice placing weight between the ball and heel of each of your feet. So maybe back to the heel, and then the toes, and then back and forth until you find the spot right in between. One more breath. If you have this interlaced grip, be really sweet and tender with the arms. You can bring your hands to your low back first. Feel them disengage, then slide them down your legs. Take a breath in, lift yourself halfway. Turn yourself to the right, to the top of your mat. Three-legged dog, toes go up and back, big breath in. And this time you'll step to the outside of your right hand, pinky toe side, or pinky finger side. Make sure your knee and your ankle are stacked here. Back knee could come down or remain active. Arms could be straight or elbows, your choice. Trying to repeat any of the steps or variations on the side that you did on the first side, even if your two sides feel a little different from each other. Equanimity will come from intentionally doing the same thing on the right and the left every time you're on your mat. Really good opportunity, almost a slight pause on our mat to be able to notice our breath again if we've lost it. Take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. And we'll just carefully straighten the arms. If you've not brought your back knee down, go ahead and bring it down. Left arm will stay. Right arm's gonna do this big half circle to reach back. It ends up being a twist. Can stay reaching back, or you could pick up your back foot. So again, if we're gonna walk the line between feeling challenged but being kind, maybe that answers the question of whether you pick up the back leg. If you do have the foot, give it a little kick back as you pull it in. Right shoulder drifts back, left one forward. If possible, gaze to the back. One more breath. And gently release your back leg, really sweet, tender. And bring the right hand around. We'll go to a three-legged dog, so the left leg activates and the right toe stretch back. Big inhale. Can move the leg around, maybe bend the knee. When you're ready, you can find down dog, and you can even pedal a couple of times if that feels good to you. So our goal now is to come to our backs. So if a jump through is part of your practice, you could do that now. Or you could come down to your knees, slide your feet out to one side, and lay down. So lay all the way back. Soles of the feet flat on the floor, knees point to the ceiling. This is called bridge, but if you did gymnastics when you were a kid, it's not quite that bridge. So gently pull your shoulder blades together underneath your body. Place your palms flat for the moment, and then push your feet down to lift your hips. You can stay just like this, palms pushing down, or you could kind of shimmy the shoulders closer together and then interlace the hands underneath. You're gonna push into your feet and your arms primarily. Imagine that your tailbone gently points to the backs of your knees, and breathe. If you can, soften the muscles in your glutes. One more full inhale and full exhale. And slowly draw your hips down to your mat. Make sure your shoulders get comfortable again on the mat, relaxed and maybe apart a little bit. Take your feet slightly wide, like one footprint wider. Let your knees fall together. You can leave your arms resting by your side, or you might bring them to your body. I like to place one on my belly and one on my ribs so that I can feel my breath rise and fall. Notice one more full breath without any urgency, without feeling a rush to move. And then take your arms out to a T, a Y, or cactus arms, which would be like bent at the elbow. Knees point to the ceiling, and you could take your feet back to hip width. Take a breath in. You'll zigzag your legs to the left. So I'm just letting my knees come down and the sides of my feet are touching the mat. Inhale, come up through center, and just switch your sides. So knees go to the right. And just do that again on each side. Inhale at center. Exhale to the left. Inhale at center. And exhale to the right. And then back up to center. So now let's take the knees to the left. Let them fall that direction in the zigzag, but then bring your right one to stack on top of your left one. If your right shoulder lifted as we did that, shimmy and adjust the upper body until it reconnects. And then stretch your right arm out long. You can look to the right or to the ceiling. It's really what's most comfortable for your neck. As we landed in this posture, it takes engagement maybe to get the knees over there. But if possible, now that you're here, let the floor, or in this case the lawn, support your legs. Disengaged, heavy, being held. You can also change your breath here, which literally changes your vibe from maybe one where we were engaged, determined, precise, to one where we're a little softer, more surrender. So to me, that's more the exhale breath, like a sigh. Get a big one of those. Base of that exhale, you can draw your legs through center, kind of zigzag them over to the right. And when the right one lands, let the left one come up on top of it. If your left shoulder lifted, just adjust your shoulders, your chest, even your rib cage if you need to, so that your left shoulder can maybe reach the mat. You can look to the left or to the ceiling. Try to notice the moment where you let the legs go. You let the floor hold them, or the lawn, instead of your muscles holding them in this shape. Lengthen the exhale. Imagine what it feels like when you do a heavy sigh. One more deep breath, heavy, slow breath out. You can draw the knees back to center. And lastly, you might just draw the knees in and give a little squeeze. You can take any final movements here that feel good to you, but your goal is for your spine to feel straight, your hips to feel equal and even on your mat, and you to kind of feel like you've got the wiggles out so that you can be still. Once you've done that, you can extend your legs out, maybe a little bit wider than your hips, and let your big toes fall open. Adjust the shoulder blades underneath you so that your palms can fall open by your side. And allow your head to rest heavy. So in the same way you let the floor hold your legs just moments ago, let your whole body be held like that now, including the neck. It does not have to hold up the head. So the full weight of the skull is supported by the floor. And perhaps, if you'll allow it, for a moment, the contents inside. Slow and soften the mind. Relax your jaw, your brow, your eyes. Practice stillness. Practice rest. I will keep track of the time here so that you can fully indulge. And I will call us out shortly. You do not have to move your body yet. Try to remain still, but just deepen your breath first. And the goal is just to wake up really slow and gentle, so maybe only move fingers or toes first. Could grow that a little by rolling your wrists or your ankles. And then if it feels good to you, if it appeals to you, you could take a full body stretch. So on your inhale, reach in opposite directions. Everything kind of engages. And the exhale softens again. And pull the knees in just part way and roll onto your side body. Take a full breath here. And rather than awakening the midline or using the core, try to just use your arms to slowly sit up. Prop yourself up to a seat. Sitting tall, close your eyes. Bring your hands to your heart space. And even if you're at home and not with us right at this moment, do this. Pause and just acknowledge yourself for choosing this, for arriving here, taking time for yourself, showing up for yourself. It is a big deal. I see you. I honor your efforts. Thank you for being here. Namaste.
You're good at downward dog.
So good.
So good. Cool.
Assisted yoga.
Yeah, right?